Hello, students. Today we are going to see this new chapter which is known as control structures. In C language, we may create some kind of program that wants to take some decision at certain time. Okay, say for example, you are creating a software that collects all the details of the user and finds whether you are eligible for voting or not. Okay, so the software must know software the software must know all the ages. Okay, ages of the user, and here you can see that it must take a decision whether you are eligible to vote or not. Okay, so if your age is above or equal to 18, then you are eligible for voting. So if your age is below 18, then you are not eligible for voting. So this kind of decision is being taken by this kind of control structures, control statements. Okay, so the statement which helps to take some decision in the program is known as control statement. So in this chapter we are going to learn about the four different types of control statements. Okay, so here you can see that there are if statement. Okay, so that is a conditional statement. Go to, it is an unconditional statement. Switch statement, that is a branching statement, and looping statement. Okay, you may want to repeat certain a set of codes or certain set of instruction repeatedly for doing some action, then you may use this looping statement. So first of all, we'll see this if statement. So in that there are five subdivisions: simple if else, else if ladder, and uh, nested if. So here you can see that first of all we'll see this simple if. So simple if, you can see that there is a flow chart here. So the condition is true. Condition means any condition. Okay, the final output of the expression which must be true or false. Okay, so only two type of output can be gathered in this condition, either true or false. Okay, so if the condition is true, okay, any the condition expression may be of any logical expression or any relational expression. Okay, so here you can see that they have given the syntax for it. If is the keyword and the condition given inside the bracket. So it may be any statement, that is age is less than or equal to or age is greater than or equal to 18, then you are eligible for voting. Okay, so here you can see that if the condition is true, then the true statement is executed. If the condition is false, then the true statement is not executed. Okay, so it will move on to the next part of the program. So certain steps are being skipped from the execution path. So here we'll see an example. So here you can see that there is a if statement a greater than b. So if a is greater than b, when the condition is true, print the a value. If the a is greater than b is false, then the print statement won't work. Okay, we'll see that in the output. So when the program is executed, it gets two values, a value and b value. So it compares a greater than b. So if the a is greater than b, then the output value A value is big, so that will be printed. If it is not greater than B, then nothing is printed. Okay, in the next output you can see that. So this is a simple if statement. So next is if else statement. So by seeing this flowchart itself, you can understand uh, the condition is here, but you can see that a true statement will be there and a false statement will be there. Okay, if the condition becomes true, then certain set of true actions will be carried out. Okay, if the condition is false, then there will be a separate section or a separate set of codes will be there in the false section. Then that clause section will be executed. So here you can see another example, the same example but in a different way. So a greater than b. So when it is true, you can see that a value is printed. Now a greater than b is false, then b value is printed here. So these kind of decision making or skipping certain steps of codes is known as control statements. So this set of control statement is known as if else. Okay, if is a keyword and it contains condition, and else is a keyword, it doesn't have any condition. Okay, so when the if condition false become false, then else statement will be executed. Okay, so in the next okay, else, so here you can see that if else if then else. Okay, so in the else part there is a condition here. Okay, we'll see the flowchart here. So this is a flowchart. So the first condition as true and false, but in the first condition, if the first condition is false, then you can see that it is comparing with another condition. Okay, it is checking another condition, so that you can see that three outputs can be received here. So when the first condition becomes true, separate true block is executed. When the first condition become false, then another condition is checked by using this uh, if if ladder. Okay, so this another condition will be checked in the false statement of the first condition. Okay, so three possible outputs can be uh, managed by using this if else if ladder. So next is the same program here, but here in a different way. So a greater than b and a greater than c. Okay, so here you can see that there are two conditions are being checked here. So the condition must be true to execute the below code. So else if a b greater than c, then the statement will be executed, or else c statement will be executed. So three variables has been uh, three inputs for three variables has been received from the user, and it is stored in ABC. So now the program is to calculate the biggest number of the given three variables. Okay, so ABC. So first of all, it checks with A greater than B, A greater than C. So if this condition is true, both the conditions are true, A is bigger. Now the next thing, okay, so B is greater than C. It is checking whether B is greater than C. Okay, so when this condition is true, then uh, B statement will B is the biggest will be printed. When this becomes false, the B is greater than C is false. Then C is the greatest will be printed. Okay, so by this you can find uh, three possible outcomes of these statements. Okay, so the next thing is Elsif ladder. So here you can see that multiple if statements is been uh, carried, or multiple if statement is being laid after one another in if statement. Okay, so else statement, so this is known as else if ladder. Okay, so else, in the else part of every condition you can see another if statement. Okay, so this is else if ladder. Multiple number of conditions can be checked by using this else if ladder. So if your age is greater than uh, if your age is greater than 18 and you must pass in 10th, then only you can uh, eligible for vote. So this kind of example. Okay, so this kind of example program can be executed, or multiple conditions can be added here. So if you want to become an IAS, then you have to be a certain age, and you have to complete the IAS exam, and then you have to be the uh, you have to be the first in the interview. Okay, so this kind of conditions may be given in the else if position, so that it will filter all the entries and give you the exact result. Okay, so uh, this is the Elsif ladder. So next you can see that this is a flowchart of the Elsif ladder. So here you can see that uh, three conditions, okay, is being checked here. See, three conditions. So altogether four outputs can be checked here. Okay, so four possible outputs can be received by using three if else statement consecutively. So in the next part you can see that nested if. So a if that contains another if is known as condition statement. So there is a small bit difference between else if ladder and a nested if. Okay, so else if ladder means another if statement will be there in either true or false statement. Okay, so nested means a condition is there inside another condition. Okay, so this is nested if. So you can see that there is an example here. So the first thing is, the first condition that is executed here is if mark 1 is greater than or equal to 50 and mark 2 is greater than or equal to 50. So first of all, two marks is being received from the user, so m1 and m2. So this m1 must be greater than or equal to 50, and m2 is must be greater than or equal to 20. So if it is below 50, then this condition will become false. So here you can see that uh, another condition is checked whether after checking this statement, uh, and total TOT is less than sorry, TOT is greater than 180, then good mark is printed. Okay, so if your total is greater than, oh, if your total is greater than 180, then you will be getting an output which is known as good mark. If your mark 1 is greater than 50 and mark 2 is greater than 50, but the total is not 180, then you'll be getting you'll be getting an output which is known as average mark. So and if your mark is less than 50 and mark 2 is less than 50, then you will be getting a output which is known as fail. So these kind of multiple conditions can be given by using this control statement. Okay, next is go to statement. So here for up to this part you have seen that in each statement there is a condition to check whether certain condition is being satisfied or not. But here this go to statement is providing you not unconditioned statement. Okay, so no condition is being checked here. When you see this go to statement, it will go to that particular statement. So here a label is used here. So label A or label B. So go to is a unconditional statement. So on seeing this statement, it will the control will be transferred to that particular statement where it contains the label. So here you can see that they have given the syntax for this. So go to is a keyword and label A. Okay, label A is the label and in which where when the label is being seen in any part of the program, it will move to the control will be moved to that label. Okay, so here in this example, if greater than A is greater than B, then go to large, else go to small. So go to large. On seeing this statement, it will look for large keyword in the program. Okay, after two statements, you can see that a large colon is given there. So the control will transfer here and it will move on to the next statement. Percentage D is the biggest. So after finishing this, it will go to the original position and leave the condition. Okay, so this is unconditional statement. Next is branching statement. Switch statement is also known as branching statement. Multiple branches can be given to your decision making system, okay, or decision making statement. So here you can see that there is a example. So here multiple choice can be given here. Okay, so based on your input, the multiple options is being triggered. So if the user enters number one, then number ONE word ONE1 is printed. If the user enters number 2, then TW2 word will be printed. So likewise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 value is printed by using this switch statement. So multiple choice is being gathered by using this switch statement. So the if the user enters a value which is not inside the limit of 1 to 5, then you can see that there is a option for that to default. Okay, so if you are entering any number which is not to the limit of the given condition, then you will be getting an output that you have entered a number which is invalid. Okay, so next is break statement. So break statement, you have to know this break statement. It is a very important word. Break means the statement after the break will be eliminated or skipped without execution. So this is known as uh, break statement. So in certain programming time, you can see that there is a necessity of skipping the program based on the previous condition. Okay, so this is known as break statement, and default statement will be if your input is not present in the given list of inputs, then you'll be getting this, but you'll be getting this default statement uh, program. Next is looping statement. So there are four different types of looping. uh, first one is for loop. So for loop is a key. A certain statements can be executed repeatedly again and again until this condition is satisfied. So the first thing is for. For is the keyword. The first part inside this document is initialization, condition, and update. Okay. So first initial value starting from 0 or starting from 1. Any value can be given inside this initialization part. Next is condition. So condition will be checked by using this initial value. So if the condition is true, then the body of the loop will be executed. If the condition is false, it will move out of the uh, it will move outside the body of the loop. So uh, it will repeat the execution of the body of the loop based on the condition given here. So after executing, it will go to the update statement and update the condition. So if the condition is true again, then it will be printed again. So this body of the loop will be printed again and again until the condition becomes false. So here you can see that they have given another example. So for I is equal to 1, I is less than or equal to 5, and I plus plus. So I is equal to 1 is the initial value, and I is less than or equal to 5 is the test condition, and I plus plus is the update statement. So here you can see that they are printing the value from 1 to 5 using the for loop. Okay. So next is while loop. This is also another looping statement, but here it looks like it is having a different form. So while is another keyword. Inside that you can give any condition. uh, this condition will be checked at the entry level itself. Okay, so that's why it is known as entry checkpoint condition statement. So while getting into the statement itself, it will check, and you'll be provided with the uh, access to the body of the loop. If the condition false, then your access will not be provided to access the body of the loop. So this is while loop. And next is do while loop. So this is an exit check loop, which means that first the body of the loop will be executed once without checking the condition. Okay, but when it's executing first time, then it will check the next it will check the condition after the first execution of body of the loop. So this is do while loop. So next is here you can see that there is an example uh, main. Okay, so in that I is equal to 1 and fact is equal to 1, CLR is a clear screen function, and do. Okay, so fact is equal to fact into I. So print the value of fact here. So fact is equal to 1. 1 fact is equal to new fact, which is equal to 1 into I. I is also 1. 1 into 1 is 1. So now you can see that the value is printed as 1. I plus plus. Now the value is incremented. I is equal to 1. Now I becomes 2 here. Now you can see that factorial is equal to fact. The previous fact is 1. 1 into 2 is 2. Now the new fact is stored inside the factorial variable, and the value will be true. Sorry, 2. The value of fact will be 2, and it is printed here. So this will take place 4 to 5 times. At the fifth time, the condition will become false, and the body of the loop will be excited, okay, which is come out of control. So with this we'll finish the class today. We'll see the book back exercise of this chapter in the next class. Thank you, students.